Alright, back again with Beekeeping with Brian. Not that Brian is the name of my channel. I'm going to be feeding this hive today, but first a little bit about the channel. Trying to grow it, become a better beekeeper and bring others on the journey with me. Been beekeeping now for about 6 years. Started out with one hive, made some mistakes, learned. I now have 4, which is awesome. Very happy about that. And just getting ready for the winter. Now I'm shooting this video on a GoPro Hero 13 Black, with which is mounted to my helmet, my beekeeper's helmet. And I've been asked, so I'm going to share it. I'm using a Telesyn Bluetooth controller to switch it on and off, and it's super easy. Nice big button there, easy to clean, rubberized, water resistant. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Now this is my Long Langstroth. I love this hive, super easy to work on. It was actually my first hive. It's not the best thermally efficient though, so over the journey what I've done is put a new lid on it. Inside this lid I've got styrofoam, so solid insulated lid. And what you'll see shortly when I open her up, I'm not using smoke today, so this could get a bit lively. What you'll see, morning girls. Yep, they're curious, look at that, up they come. What you'll see along here is an extra layer of wood. So when we open it up, you'll see the original hive, and then you'll see what I've added onto it, which is the insulation to help it get through the winter. Ooh, she's lively. Here we go. Oh, smell that. They're making honey as well as sugar honey in this hive. I don't mind, because I'm not going to harvest this hive. I'm just using it to grow honey. And what you'll see, there's the separator. This is the original hive. This little bit of timber here. It's about, 15 mil of pine. It'll do in warm climates, but it's just not good enough for up here in the hills where it snows. So I've added in here, I've got this styrofoam sitting in here, and then it's got some more plywood on the outside, which is painted with weather resistant paint just to help it get by. And like I say, all I've been doing with this hive is basically using it to grow sugar honey, because I'm going to add those extra frames. I'm either going to leave them in this hive and help it get through the winter really, really well, but if I've got a couple of spare frames of honey, I'll pop them in one of my other hives that might need it. This is 2-to-1 sugar mix. As you can see, I'm just going to put there in the feeding frame. There's bees in there. I'm sorry girls, can't help you, can't do much about that. Well, I'm getting swatted. They're curious, they're cross. That's 2-to-1 sugar syrup, peeps. Now see these things that are floating up, these sticks? They help the bees, because the bees have got something they can climb out on. If they don't have those, quite often the walls of the feeding frame are too slippery for them and they drown. But look at that, they're all slowly getting there, and they will get there. The majority of them will actually climb out, and they know exactly what it is. So they're mellow, look at that. Sorry girls, I'll leave you to it. Anywho, so this is as difficult as feeding a beehive needs to be, people. Got my little pot there, 2.5 litres or 2 litres of water, 4 kilos of sugar. Just melt it down, let it cool overnight. Next morning I heat it up just a little bit so it's nice and warm when it goes in there. I don't put cold sugar in here, just warm, but not hot enough to hurt them. And it just makes it so much easier for them to consume. Now this hive's a pretty big hive, that's mostly brood, that's mostly honey. They will consume that in about 3 to 4 days. Realistically, I can only spend time on the weekend with my hive. So what I do basically is I feed it every weekend. To feed all of these hives though, I've got a nice big pot, because that one just simply won't cut it. Got a big 10-litre pot, and we'll have a big sugar cook up next weekend for you. Right, that's Not That Brian signing off from feeding my bees. If you like my channel, it'd be awesome if you'd subscribe. Have a look at some of my other videos, you'll see my ugly face. Yeah, and don't forget, if you are into beekeeping and you want to use a GoPro, personally recommend the Hero 13 Black with a Telesyn Bluetooth controller. One thing to be aware of though with this GoPro is that I have the settings on 4K, but only 30 frames a second. And the reason for that is if I lift it to 60 frames a second, it gets very hot and cuts out sometimes. It's really designed for people who are doing action sports with high wind flow, but beekeeping doesn't have that. So if I have it on, 60 frames a second, it overheats. So it's back to 30 frames a second, but still beautiful 4K video. And just like that, my beehive is fed. My work here is done. Hope Hope to see you back on the channel sometime. Thanks for stopping by.